Photosynthesis, cellular respiration. How do these processes differ from one another? Hello, Sci-Pals! I am Sir Wendell Mayor, your science teacher for today. In this episode of Agham Alam Hub, we are going to differentiate the features of photosynthesis and cellular respiration. We will find out how plants produce their own food in the form of glucose with the help of water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight. Moreover, we will determine how animals use glucose with the help of oxygen through the process of cellular respiration. We will also identify how photosynthesis differs from cellular respiration in terms of raw materials, end products, energy requirements, and the cell structures involved. In the next few minutes, we will explore science for another moment. Photosynthesis is a process of food making done by plants. The raw materials needed in the process are carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. Let us look closely how photosynthesis happens in the leaves. Photosynthesis occurs here at the chloroplast, where the chlorophyll is found. Chlorophyll is the green pigment of plants that aids in the capturing light energy from the sun, enabling plants to change it into chemical energy stored in food. There are two stages of photosynthesis: the light-dependent reaction and Calvin cycle or dark reaction. Light-dependent reaction happens in the presence of light. It occurs in the thylakoid membrane and converts light energy to chemical energy in the forms of adenosine triphosphate and nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate hydrogen. Calvin cycle or dark reaction is a light-independent phase that takes place in the stroma. This stage does not directly require sunlight but needs the products of light reaction and converts carbon dioxide into sugar. Thus, it occurs immediately after the light-dependent phase. In order to understand it better, let us see the chemical equation of photosynthesis. Water and carbon dioxide are the raw materials needed. With the help of sunlight, photosynthesis takes place and the products are glucose and oxygen. How does cellular respiration take place? Let us look closely inside the animal cell. Cellular respiration takes place in the mitochondria of the cell. The raw materials needed are glucose and oxygen. Cellular respiration breaks down glucose into carbon dioxide, water, and energy in the form of ATP in the presence of oxygen. The breakdown of glucose involves three major steps: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain. Let us now differentiate the three stages of cellular respiration. The first process is glycolysis, which takes place here at the cytoplasm of the cell. It is a series of reactions that extract energy from glucose by splitting into two T-carbon molecules called pyruvates. This change is accompanied by a net gain of 2 ATP molecules and 2 NADH molecules. The Krebs cycle happens here in the mitochondria. The cycle starts with the products of glycolysis, which are two pyruvates. Pyruvate is transported into the mitochondria and loses carbon dioxide to form acetyl coenzyme A 2-carbon molecule. When acetyl CoA is oxidized to carbon dioxide in the Krebs cycle, chemical energy is released and captured in the form of NADH, FADH2, and ATP. Energy from the molecules is moved to other molecules called electron carriers. These molecules carry the stored energy to the electron transport chain. The electron transport chain is a cluster of proteins that transfer electrons through a membrane within the mitochondria to form a gradient of protons that drives the creation of ATP. ATP is used by the cell as energy for metabolic processes for cellular function. Let us now see the chemical equation of cellular respiration. Glucose and oxygen are the raw materials needed for cellular respiration, and the products are water and carbon dioxide. In this episode of Agham Alam Hub, we differentiated the features of photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Photosynthesis is a process of food making done by plants. The raw materials needed in this process are carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight, while glucose and oxygen are produced. It takes place in the chloroplast of plant cell. On the other hand, cellular respiration breaks down glucose into carbon dioxide, water, and energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate or ATP in the presence of oxygen. The breakdown of glucose involves three major steps: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain. Furthermore, we identified that the raw materials in photosynthesis are carbon dioxide, sunlight, and water, while cellular respiration requires glucose and oxygen. The end products of photosynthesis are glucose and oxygen, while in cellular respiration, the end products are carbon dioxide, water, and energy in the form of ATP. The cell structure involved in photosynthesis is chloroplast, while in cellular respiration, cytoplasm and mitochondria are involved. That's all for today, SciPals. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. See you again next week for another moment. Only here in Agham Alam Hub, Palajan SciTech Portal. Bye!